Hey guys, good morning. You know, sometimes you discover something in life and you just want to, for lack of a better word, kick yourself in the butt. I've been staying at this hotel for like 4 days now. I went to Ichiran yesterday, the flagship store, which, granted, I always wanted to go. But then I walk out of my hotel and I see this. What? Right? My hotel is literally 3 steps from this entrance, from the Ichiran, and I had no idea. You know how many mornings I woke up and I was like, it's 7 a.m. I wish I had something to eat. I wish there was a place, something close I really wanted to go to. And there was, right beside me. And I'm leaving in like 2 days, so I don't know. Today I decided to go on a food trip. Well, I'm already on a food trip, so this is like a food trip within a food trip. Because Nagasaki is only a couple hours from here by train, and there's some awesome food over there I really want to try. So it's early in the day. I'm gonna go grab a train to Nagasaki. That's always a line. I'm gonna see why it's so good. This is like a crazy, delicious Illuminati eye looking thing. It's strawberry, something on the outside. I want to try one of these. It's supposed to be really good. Wagyu bento box. Yep, I got my bento box, but I walked past this, what looks like the most fancy egg sandwich ever. All right, really shouldn't be spending all my stomach space on bento boxes, but the egg sandwich looks so good. Ooh, that's hot tea. Got my hot tea, got my food. Let's go on this trip. Really interesting. So I bought one and it gave me a whole pamphlet. Look at this, on like apparently how awesome the strawberry is. I guess you'd call like almost like a strawberry pita pocket. It's kind of wrapped, not the nicest. And there you go. It literally looks like a little strawberry hot pocket dealie. And I'm not gonna cut it open because it's gonna go everywhere. It's like a strawberry ravioli. You can feel the big strawberry here. I'm just gonna take a bite. There's 2 things I love about this. One is just the juiciness of the strawberry here. That's strawberries. Fruit in Japan is just ridiculous. And then I love the outside dough pocket. That's actually really chewy and gentle and soft. I was enjoying my strawberry and then my train came. So let's get on the train first. Ooh, very spacious overhead compartment. This is kind of an older train. Should we have some breakfast? These are the super popular croissants that everybody lines up for. I have no idea what flavors these are. Seems pretty flaky. This is super yummy. I think that was a green bean one. It goes really good with hot tea. Seriously, that's perfect. This is just a regular one. It's crispy, it's flaky, it's buttery, it's a little sweet. I can see why people love this so much. This is the mentaiko one. So it's fish roll on a croissant. That's pretty darn good. So little beef on top of the rice. There's like a few 20s wrapped around a roll of ones. Not that I was expecting this whole thing to be full of Wagyu, but it just looked like there'd be more. That's all. This looks like beef bacon. I'm gonna miss real Wagyu so much after I leave Japan. The way it melts in my mouth, like my heart melts for it. I've had Wagyu grilled,
and shabu, and now in a bento box. There's no wrong way to eat the Wagyu. You guys should really try a good Wagyu bento box. Wonderfully packaged egg salad sandwich I've ever seen. Ooh. I love how like all foods in Japan comes with like an instruction manual. It's like opening a Christmas present. And this is the first time I've seen crust on a sandwich in this country. Ah, look at that egg salad. That looks pretty bold. And that's a lot of eggs in the sandwich. There's a lot of eggs, like every bite. Insanely delicious. It tastes how ridiculously fresh these eggs are. I think there's like minimum 4 eggs in the sandwich. This is worth the $6, 100%.
Here we are, Nagasaki. This is probably the most scenic train ride I've ever been on in my life. Like, first of all, this train was like a kind of like a rocky roller coaster. It was like tilting and stuff. Went through mountains, passed by oceans, passed by beautiful historic houses, just gorgeous scenery, absolutely gorgeous scenery. One thing that was really peculiar was that every time I went through a tunnel, it seemed like 20 tons of pressure was on my head. My ears were popping like every 5 minutes. But so glad I'm here. Nagasaki is not a big city, and today's plan is there's not like anything set in stone. It's just that I know there's certain dishes I want to try out. So we're just gonna go find places that sell them, and we're just gonna have a beautiful food day in this wonderful city. Let's get started.
First place I'm going to is a noodle shop called Shuntian. I'm saying it in Chinese. And I'm going there for probably the most popular dish in Nagasaki, champon noodles. And this place supposedly does it the best. So I'm getting some sara udon, champon, and the fried rice is highly recommended here. I literally feel like I'm in someone's living room eating. And it's this little quaint restaurant is run by a lovely elderly couple. That's what I love about eating anywhere, just finding really local places and just really homey food. Everyone here actually recommended the fried rice, so I'm gonna eat the fried rice. The rice, of course, cooked with eggs, pork, and the colorful thing, I think they're chopped up pieces of fish cake. You guys have never seen a lot of fried rice videos from me because I'm not big into fried rice. I mean, I have my own fried rice recipe and I cook it at home sometimes. I don't eat it a lot and I rarely rave about it, but oh my God. Bold declaration, that's the best fried rice I ever had in my life. Here in Nagasaki, in this literal mom and pop shop, best fried rice I ever had in my life. Maybe a little daikon to kind of cut the grease a little bit. I'll give you like a fish tank of this. It's flavors I can't really even pinpoint about this fried rice. First of all, perfectly cooked. You can taste the char from the wok slightly. Each grain of rice is perfectly tender and smoky. But the flavor of this, I mean, usually when I cook fried rice, some soy sauce, salt, some chili oil, maybe throw in some scallions, some meat. That's pretty much it. But this, eggs are present but not overwhelming. The little pieces of fish cake, almost can't tell they're there, but they add that slightly chewy texture that's just, it's slight, but it's noticeable. I think this rice is cooked in some kind of broth, whether it's chicken broth or pork broth. It's something used to just enhance the flavor of every single delicious grain. It's literally the seasoning ingredients of the gods. Dare I say, divine tasting. It might even be worth coming to Nagasaki if you're in Fukuoka, just to have this plate of fried rice. I'm not even joking you. This is a champon, the most famous dish in Nagasaki. So I see some squid, some fish cake, pork, lettuce, and the broth is supposed to be made from pork bones. And you're supposed to boil it until the broth is nice and creamy. This is a creamy looking broth. And it's not thin either. This broth has some substance to it. If you're a ramen lover and you love a bowl of nice thick creamy broth with your noodles, you might have to journey out to Nagasaki and come to this place. This broth should be locked up because it's borderline insane. Hang on a second. If you ever wonder what drinking silk felt like, come here. Try this broth, then you'll know. The broth is so rich and creamy. It does taste like pork bone, but also there's definitely shrimp in there, 100%. There's some kind of seafood element to this broth as well. I'll be honest, guys, like just looking at the picture of a bowl of champong noodles, it doesn't look all that impressive. It really doesn't. It looks kind of like it looks like it's kind of bland. The color seems a little dull, but make no mistake, that is a hidden beauty. That's why your parents always tell you it's what's on the inside that counts. And in this case, it's really the flavor that counts. The noodles itself, they look like lo mein noodles. I'm kind of thinking they're not gonna taste all that flavorful because I don't think these things grab onto the broth very well. But we'll see. I've been wrong about this dish before. This dish, the vegetables and all the ingredients are stir-fried in lard. I could definitely taste that. Because the topping is stir-fried in lard, there's a beautiful buttery flavor to this dish as well. And the ingredients actually really affect the noodles almost more than the soup itself because there's so many different layers of texture here. Love the nice crunch from the bean sprouts and the seaweed. Love the chewiness of the fish cake and the squid. This is such an unbelievably beautifully delicious bowl of noodles. It's the plainest looking but most flavorfully substantial bowl of noodles I think I've had so far in Japan. It's simple. It's not like it's not a bunch of mysterious spices or truffles. Nothing fancy about it. It's just down to earth, homey, and it makes you feel so good. Like it warms your soul up. This on a cold day with some hot oil, you can't beat that. All right, one more dish to try. This is the sara udon, and the ingredients for this and the champong is pretty much the same. Some cabbage, fish cakes, sprouts, pork. But it's just a noodle that's completely different. It's just like really crispy, thin, stir-fried noodles. This is basically like a chow mein in Chinese cooking. And already, oh man, it smells so good. This dish, heaviest of all the dishes I've had today. The noodles are so incredibly crispy. They're a little sweet and they're also a little buttery. They might have stir-fried this with lard as well. As good as this dish is, and it's really good, I feel like if I ate the whole thing, I might have to sleep here tonight. It is so incredibly heavy and really, really greasy. You need to be drinking some hot tea while eating this. I mean, it's good because the broth they're using to season a lot of these ingredients and the lard they're using to cook the vegetables and everything, it all tastes really, really good. Let's go back to the champong. Just gonna add some white pepper to this. Just add another layer of flavor. You really don't need to add anything. It's perfect the way it is. There's a tie between the champong noodles and the fried rice. I've never had fried rice bringing me to the brinks of tears before. Since I love this and this so much, spoonful of rice, get some broth in there. This might be too much for me to handle. I think my food circuits are being fried a little bit. If you want to eat some good food, basically cooked by a grandmother, it would seem like her living room, go eat here. This is a Suwa shrine, and I love temples and shrines in this country. Beautiful koi pond. There's like two fish in here though. Like three. Oh, they're over there, baby. And there's a storker. And it's not a big shrine. Pretty peaceful place. People come in. They say their prayers. It kind of overlooks the city a little bit. It's just nice and tranquil, and you don't have to really buy anything. This shop literally has my life philosophy printed on his wall. Is this like a Singapore pizza place? Like, tonight we're gonna eat some pizza la. This whole city is just very calm and quiet. Doesn't seem to have that many people. This cute little cafe makes a mean matcha soda. Charming little street with just a bunch of shops, restaurants. Going to, oh, here it is. This is the place I'm looking for. This place is supposed to have some of the best cakes in this town. It looks like they make everything in-house. And it's just
beautiful. Look at this. This looks like a little shop. Like they do a lot of cakes, a lot of sweets. This seemed to be really popular. I'm gonna get a big one of these. And maybe one of these. This looks good too. This is all like shipping slips. They're like shipping it, I guess, all over the world. That little bean candy. Oh, it's great. So this place is really famous for their cakes, but 100% sold out today. So I got some of the tea candy. I wish I had a cake though. Nagasaki is really famous for castella, which is a type of bread. I'm trying to look for this place that seems to be really popular, and I think Google Maps is telling me to go into this kind of shady alley. For food, I'll do anything. This alley is really interesting. Yep, even in the darkest of all alleys, there is a vending machine. Only in Japan. This might be the second time that Google is trying to kill me. Yeah, didn't know I was tall enough to hit a live wire. All right, we're almost out. They have some good castella. Let's hope they have some left. This in that shop is kind of like buying jewelry. I mean, you go in there, everything's in cases. You sit down, you can actually sit down. The salespeople come to you like, which loaf of cake would you want? There's really no touching it, and then that's the entire transaction. So I bought a big one, which I'm gonna take back to the office, and I got a little one that I wanna eat right now and tell you guys how it is. Like I said to you guys before, if you have trouble opening a package in Japan, it's your fault. It's never the package's fault. There's an easier way to... This is adorable. Only in Japan, they give you this, but they feel like it's too barbaric to just kind of like that. So they give you like a little knife fork thing. It's a nork. It's a knife and a fork. It's a nork. Okay. I broke the nork. There. It's a nork. It's size proportionate. This country is just adorable. Let me give you a better look at this. There's a beautiful, beautiful, spongy, bouncy cake. And supposedly Nagasaki style is rock sugar on the bottom, which I don't know if this thing has. I don't think it does. But look at that. That looks airy and delicious. Oh my god. I would have ate this off the ground. I don't even care. Let's try this. Oh. Yep. I just ate paper. The paper on the bottom was just castella. Excuse me. And by the way, above the paper, the rock sugar is on the bottom in true Nagasaki style. This is one of the most delicious cake slash bread slash sweet, fluffy, airy item I've ever had. Like, oh my god, this is good. Paper. Of all that is fluffy and sweet and delicious. That thing tastes familiar yet completely foreign, unique, and exotic at the same time. I mean, it does taste like sort of like a sponge cake, but it's not as spongy as a sponge cake. It's a bit sweeter with that tiny crunch from the rock sugar on the bottom. What a delightful crunch. Let's go buy another one. I got original and green tea castella. This is the original. Just as springy and nice. Not as good as the other place. I taste the difference right away. This one, although still good, is not as delicate as the other place. The other place really were able to find the perfect balance between being delicate and spongy. This guy's not. This is more spongy. It's more dense. This really doesn't make you feel like flying. Definitely not as good as the other place. It's yummy. I like the matcha flavor. But again, the fluffiness, the airiness of this, it's just, you can't compare it to the other place. Still good, but I would go over there. My train's almost here, so I really didn't book enough time here in Nagasaki. But I had to kind of squeeze everything into a day, which is difficult. Let's go catch a train. Oh, there's like a flying fish over there. You guys see that? That fish is just like It's not even swimming, it's just jumping. It's just jumping around the ocean. Oh, it's not jumping anymore. Maybe it got eaten by a bigger fish. The circle of life. Back at Fukuoka. That was a fun half-a-day trip. Now, I'm kind of torn. I kind of want to go to bed because I wake up at 5 o'clock tomorrow, but I'm also hungry. I don't know what to do yet. Gotta figure this out. So I guess it's obvious which option I chose, but I gotta be up at 4:30, 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna go to bed. And guys, just a reminder, if you want to see what I'm doing in real time, definitely follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's where I post my most updated activities, and there are a lot of exclusive content information that's only on those two platforms. So check out my handle right about here, and the link's also there for you in my description box below. Thanks so much for watching. See you later.